Hi, good morning. Welcome to our new episode on xtratalk by Indixital. I am Nitin Sabharwal, your host, and today I have with me one person who has built an ecosystem that is helping a lot of publishers in India uh, to deliver some amazing outcomes for their audiences. I have with me Neel Kothari. Hi, Neel. Good morning.
Hi,
And
good morning.
he runs a company called izooto, and we are here to understand more about his passion about izooto. He's been doing this for 8 years, slightly more.
Thanks for having me here. It's looking forward to the conversation.
So thanks a lot, Neel, for coming to our extra talk session, and we want to understand more about why you did what you did, and to understand more for our audiences, who is Neel Kothari and what is that he loves doing. So over to you. What is your journey?
izooto journey has been very fascinating. Obviously, lots of challenges. The interesting thing about izooto is we are bootstrapped, and have always been bootstrapped, debt free as well from the day we started in 2016. So, bootstrap journeys are different from funded company journeys.
Yes.
Funded companies have money to burn to learn, and they can find their way. So there is capital to be dumped, and you can learn through that dumping. And you can hire talent who are better than you when you have money. And if you hire the right talent, hopefully they'll also participate in your journey and put you on the right path. Bootstrap journeys are different.
So when you say you've always been bootstrapped, you've always been debt free, what is that izooto does there?
We are a marketing automation platform, but focused towards publishers, news and media publishers. Very interesting space, a space which most of the VC funded businesses do not like. And our realization, we had this realization, we started izooto in 2016. We were possibly among the first companies globally to have built out a platform for web push notifications. And for first couple of years, it was a very unique proposition.
Mm-hmm.
There were marketing automation players in the market, but everyone was so much more focused on app notifications and emails at that time, and then on-site widgets and journey builders, etc. We were the first one to come out with web push, and web push because it was new, and we were in a sense just building out the market, making those introductions. And first 2 years we onboarded almost all e-com publishers that you can think of, e-com website D2C brands that you can think of in this country.
Mm-hmm.
We also ventured into Southeast Asia and Middle East, and started working with lots of e-com companies. This is the first 2 years of izooto.
Mm-hmm.
And because we were able to get the customers from the first month itself, we never needed the funding. Right? Our customers were funding our journey and our learning. So that was very interesting part. But sometime in 2018-19, we realized that just as a marketing automation, just web push is not going to help us build a sustainable business. Competition, which were much more funded competition, they built out much better web push platforms, made it part of the entire journey of communication within their platform, email, app notifications, web push, WhatsApp, etc. And we started losing a lot of e-com customers. Interestingly, and that was the time when we were figuring out on what needs to be done next, because we were losing customers every month.
Mm-hmm.
And we had just couple of news and media publishers at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And we realized that somehow these publishers seem to like the product a lot. We would go and meet the editors or the product managers in these companies, and they would just be so glad to see us. And they gave out stories which were fascinating, that how web push is helping them drive more page views, get the repeat users, reduce their dependency on Google traffic, etc., etc. And more, once we started going deep into their businesses, we realized that one, publishers are extremely underserved
Okay.
on the marketing side.
Okay.
It's not an India problem. It's not an Asia problem. It's a global problem.
Oh.
Google, by the nature of how Google has built out the environment, there are thousands and millions of publishers out there. A lot of them very small publishers, mostly using WordPress or some other CMS platforms which are freely available. So clearly there are millions of businesses out there, and their business models are solely dependent on generating more traffic on their website because they make money from ad revenues. Subscription remains a very, very small part of the revenue ecosystem for news and media publishers. And that's when we took a call saying, okay, we would find it difficult to compete with the large players in the ecosystem, the marketing automation players who have raised millions of dollars, and they were chasing the retail businesses or the banking businesses.
Where the money was.
Where the money was. We took a call saying we are going to build out the platform which would be focused solely on publishers. And that's when sometime in 2018, early 19, we started the journey on building out a platform which is focused only on publishers.
So when you say publishers, मतलब हम लोग हिंदुस्तान में हैं, we deal with publishers every day, agencies deal with publishers. Right. What are some of the challenges, right, that you see on the publisher side that are becoming a bigger problem and something that you are helping solve? Or there are certain set of problems that publishers are not able to solve without the tools that are available. So I understand your obsession with web push notification, but help me understand more on कि challenges क्या हैं. मतलब हम लोग दिन रात publishers करते हैं, but what are the real challenges?
Very interesting question. First of all, we are not a web push company.
Okay.
We are the largest web push as part of a marketing automation platform that we have. Web push dominates what we do, but we do the entire communication suite for publishers.
Okay.
Right? And this is also learning as the business grows. We have not built out. Platform is meaningless if it is not solving a problem. We are solving a problem, and platform is built out to solve that problem.
Sure.
So publishers का सबसे बड़ा problem है huge dependency of getting their users from Google, Facebook, or any other source.
Okay.
They till 2 years back, 3 years back, and today as well, most of the publishers do not have anything called CRM org or a CRM team. They do not have marketing departments.
Oh, is it?
Yes. They do not. The visitor of the website is called a visitor. It's not called a customer.
Oh, interesting.
Right. And when you don't call someone who is visiting your website as a customer, that's a mindset problem.
Correct.
Right. Just because you're able to get millions of them visiting the website doesn't make them a visitor. They are your customers. You're going to make money from them.
They are going to consume your content.
And this is a mindset shift which is happening only in last 1.5 years, because the industry is changing very fast.
Okay.
So the biggest problem for publishers is that they built out the businesses where they have huge dependency on the distribution ecosystem, which Google, Facebook, Daily Hunt, or several other aggregators have provided.
Correct.
Right? And publishers compete with each other to distribute the same news across more mediums.
Correct.
The problem with all of this is that content is commoditized, building a website is commoditized.
Okay.
Right. And distribution is also commoditized. Today, if I write I start a news website, Google, and I do whatever needs to be done on the SEO side, I have equal chance to show up on the Google Discover news feed. So today, publishers, a large publisher like Times of India or India Today or Jagran, Bhaskar, or whatever the large publishers are, they do not know what their competition is.
Oh, is it?
Right. Someone sitting at your home, let's say your daughter, she creates, she's a good cook, and she starts writing a blog on recipes.
Correct.
So Times of India is competing with her as well. The recipe blog, recipe part of the Times of India, the recipe category of Times of India is competing with these influencers, these creators, right?
Correct.
And that's where the challenges are, right? So publishers in last 1.5 years have finally started thinking, okay, we need to have our own audience, we need to have our own customers.
Correct.
We need to give them different experience so that they keep coming back to consume content.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a journey a lot of publishers have started, and we are helping those publishers with that journey. How to engage,
Okay.
how to build certain relationship with your customers, how to get them back, how to send them the relevant content, and hopefully make money not only from advertisements, maybe through commerce,
Okay.
by telling them the right product advice,
Okay.
maybe through subscriptions, by giving them articles or news content which is not freely available,
Okay.
and then eventually opening up more revenue line items for them.
So you're saying publishers have this challenge of audiences, or they have enough audiences, but they have not identified them.
Yes, they have enough visitors, they have not converted into an audience. That's the challenge.
And something which large platforms have already done that, and they've been doing that for the last 5, 7, 10 years. They understand those audiences better, hence they are able to sell those audiences to advertisers and make money, while these publishers still struggle to make revenues out of that. Is
That is correct. That is absolutely right. And the Googles and the Facebooks, the walled gardens of the world, a user's information is with them,
Okay.
right? They are passing on that visitor to these publishers,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
If you are an advertiser,
Hmm.
where would you like to catch the user? Where they are visiting first, and where they've given all their information, including their emails, including what they like, what they don't like.
Correct.
Or would you like to catch them when they're just reading a news?
Interesting. Interesting thought process, and I'm sure publishers are doing a lot. Some of the products that you've built, like the push notification, what are the other products that you've kind of built that help publisher do this in a better manner?
The way to look at it is publishers want to engage their audience,
Mm-hmm.
and they want the users to come back on the website or the app, right? They can do through by pushing a notification. If they have the email ID of the user, they can send out email newsletters.
Correct.
Right. So we have email newsletter product, we have notification products. They can also, when the user is on the website or the app, they can help with better content for the user, right?
Okay.
So if I'm reading a sports news, what is the next content that I should be reading?
Mm-hmm.
So that my time on the website or the app goes up.
Okay.
Right. And when my time goes up, that's when my loyalty towards the brand goes up, and I'm likely to spend more money on the brand, either through spending more time and they make more money through advertisements or do other stuff. So we work towards the area we work towards content recommendation as well, right? Recommending the right content through various widgets that we've created for the website.
Okay.
Right? And we're also now helping publishers with the distribution of the content.
Okay. Okay.
Right. These publishers are creating a lot of content.
Correct.
They need more distribution outside of Google and Facebook again. They're already distributing on Google News. They're already distributing on Google Discover. They're already there on the search. But can we help them reach out to the user of a video creation app? Can we help them reach out to the users who are reading sports news, but can we help them can we help their news content to reach out to the same users?
Okay.
So bringing this entire new ecosystem which is not available with them, and helping them reach to this new medium.
So your last 8-year journey, you've worked with the e-com guys, you've worked with the publishers, Have you never thought of integrating these two together and trying to see that there's some synergies coming into play?
एक तो बहुत सारी synergies हैं तो मुझे it's an idea for last 4 years and it's not my idea. किसी से भी मिलो सब बोलते हैं content and commerce need to marry.
Correct.
Somewhere. In my previous startup before I started izooto, way back in 2011-12, we were trying to build a travel ecosystem. The approach was first build the travel content, and each one of the commerce companies today have tried to build out a content business, right? But commerce businesses ka struggle hai, they are able to build out the content, but they are not able to figure out the distribution.
Correct. That's the biggest challenge, and
Right.
the only distribution they know is paid distribution.
Paid distribution, or maybe YouTube videos.
Influencers to some extent.
To some certain extent. So everyone wants to do content to commerce. Advertisers do not know how to distribute it at a very, very large scale. Publishers का challenge ये है कि they can create content, but they do not know how to marry that content with the
commerce
ecosystem. They can create great content on fashion, beauty products, electronics, mobile phones, etc. But how do you marry it to a buying habit of a user? When you are writing that content, obviously you are able to create an intent, but how does it convert into dollars for the publishers is the question. So that's a journey we've just started now in last 3 months or so. Interestingly, Amazon has done a fantastic job on content to commerce. I think that's the only large marketplace e-com that I am aware of which has done this at global level. They've been able to build out a platform for publishers where they can pick up the content ideas, put it on their websites or the apps, and generate sales. Put links, buying links over there, and generate sales on Amazon and get paid. Clearly, if Amazon has been able to do it and has been able to do it at such a large scale, there's definitely a huge scope for other e-coms to participate. That is something we've started in only last 6 odd months. I see that becoming a very, very big business globally.
Fantastic. I think that's a great side of your product journey. You've been in the news recently, right? You've been acknowledged as the first, I would say, network. Is that the right terminology to be partnered with Comscore?
Marketing automation.
Marketing automation
and it's
tool.
A global. It's a first global partnership for them with a marketing automation platform.
And they've not done it ever with anybody.
No.
So how big is that, and why is it important for you as an organization?
Comscore is very big in India.
Okay.
Right. As far as my understanding goes, a lot of media spends, including the ad spends by various government departments, is dependent on the Comscore data of each of the publishers.
Okay.
Right. Sorry. So every publisher wants to show up in the top 10, 20, 30 of the Comscore. And media planners, I believe, do take a decision based on how many unique visitors or unique audiences that each of the publishers have.
Okay.
And that's how the budgets are allocated. Now for izooto, it is we were the ones who went out there and educated Comscore on what we are doing for the ecosystem.
Okay.
Right. So yes, it's a very important partnership. What does it impact? One, a partnership with a global company like Comscore establishes us as the marketing automation platform for publishers. The partnership right now is limited to India, but we would definitely be expanding it to Southeast Asia and other regions in few years from now. So one, izooto, the contribution of izooto both from unique visitors and from page views perspective will now start showing up in Comscore separately.
Okay.
Right. Why is that important? We would create benchmarks in the industry on the engaged audiences.
Okay.
Please remember that izooto brings in the repeat and the engaged audience for a publisher.
Mm-hmm.
So if a large publisher has 20% engagement or a 30% engagement, it fundamentally will define the path for other publishers in the industry.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So one, will create the benchmarks on who has the maximum engaged audience. Second, for us as izooto, we would show up as a network for the media planners,
Mm-hmm.
and we would be able to bring in better budgets, ad budgets, both from the government as well as from the advertisers for these news and media publishers. So I think it solves two problems. One is izooto, what we are doing as izooto for news and media publishers will be open, transparent for every publisher.
Mm-hmm.
And second, for media planners, we should be able to get more budgets from the ads.
So if I were to kind of summarize it, you are saying that izooto on ComScore will show up separately.
Yes.
It will also help publishers see this data
Yes.
individually,
Yes.
as well as from a cumulative industry standpoint, you will be
Yes.
able to see measurement in terms of how much of engaged audience is coming, what izooto is delivering for the publisher, and from an overall perspective, this will also help them get better dollars
That's correct.
in terms of advertising spends from media agencies or directly from advertisers.
That's right, and also will act as a benchmark.
Okay, okay.
Will act as a benchmark on engaged audiences.
So interestingly, Neel, one of the conversations that a lot of advertising ecosystem talks about is that only 10 to 15%
Yeah.
of the overall audience ecosystem is coming via web nowadays,
That's correct.
or I would say a web journey.
That's correct.
Most of the journeys happen via app ecosystems or mobile ecosystems.
Yes.
How does this translate for those publishers?
So one, this is absolutely correct. दूसरा जो fact है कि the advertising dollars for Google has completely moved to apps and video.
Mm-hmm.
So web is under tremendous pressure. Industry is going through a big change.
Okay.
And news and media publishers know this.
Okay. Okay.
उन्हें पता है what's happening in the industry, and each one of them are working on building their audiences on app or other ecosystems where they can attract more advertising dollars.
Mm-hmm.
izooto के perspective से it is very simple. We understand the industry problem.
Okay.
So
okay.
that itself I think is a
big thing.
Is a big thing. हमें पता है क्या हो रहा है industry में. We have our ears to. I personally meet so many customers and publishers directly. izooto के लिए we have to build out more products which can build audience engagement on the apps and other ecosystems outside of the web.
So are you also helping app owners?
Yes, we are helping app owners in a big way, and we are not only helping news and media app publishers, we are helping app publishers of all kinds. We are working with utility apps, we are working with video apps. Some of them have very unique challenges.
Mm-hmm.
There are बहुत ज़्यादा downloaded apps हैं, 8 crores, 10 crores downloads, but daily active users are not even in millions. They run into thousands. We want to help them to drive more engagement on their apps.
Okay.
The ecosystem problems are same.
अच्छा.
वेब की भी वही प्रॉब्लम है कि आप यूजर को आप एक्विजिशन कर पा रहे हो, यू आर एबल टू गेट द यूजर द फर्स्ट टाइम. ऐप की भी वही प्रॉब्लम है, आप ऐप डाउनलोड ला पा रहे हो, मे बी बाय स्पेंडिंग सम मार्केटिंग डॉलर्स और जस्ट बाय द फैक्ट दैट इट्स अ फैड राइट नाउ. आपने वो कर लिया, यू हैव डन द हार्ड वर्क, बट you don't know how to get the user back the second time, the third time, and the fifth time. Everyone knows in the ecosystem you make money when the user comes the second time, the third time.
चाहे वो कंटेंट कंज्यूम
चाहे वो
करने
कंटेंट कंज्यूम करें, बट आप उसको लेकर तो आओ वापस. दैट्स व्हेन यू मेक मनी, राइट, ऑन एड्स और सब्सक्रिप्शन और समथिंग ऑन कंटेंट टू कॉमर्स. तो चाहे वेब हो चाहे ऐप हो, किसी भी क्रिएटर का सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम इज acquisition is one problem, but the bigger problem is once you've acquired the customer, how do you get it back, right? So that is the problem we are solving. हम वो ही प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना चाहते हैं और वो पूरे इकोसिस्टम की करना चाहते हैं.
सो ये तो इंडस्ट्री लेवल चैलेंज है, एज यू
Yes.
सेड, राइट, कि ये ऐप ओनर्स के लिए भी सेम चैलेंज है, वेब पब्लिशर्स के लिए भी सेम चैलेंज है. ये चैलेंज कुछ हद तक इन्फ्लुएंसर्स के लिए भी है. वो भी यही बात बोलते हैं
Yes.
कि एक बार तो मैंने यूज़र एक्वायर कर लिया, मैं कंटेंट डालूंगा तो मेरे को कितना एंगेजमेंट मिलेगा पता नहीं, राइट.
Correct.
ये ई कॉमर्स के लिए भी प्रॉब्लम है कि मैं बहुत सारा कंटेंट बना रहा हूँ बट मैं इसको आउटसाइड ऑफ द डुओपोली में कैसे इसको डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करूँ.
Correct.
सो आर यू सीइंग सम इंटीग्रेशन हैपनिंग इन सम मंथ्स फ्रॉम नाउ?
Yes. ये वन इज दिस चैलेंज कैन नॉट बी सॉल्व्ड ओवरनाइट फॉर एनी बिजनेस. आज आप सोचेंगे मैं आज पब्लिशर बन जाता हूँ, कल से गूगल से यूजर आएगा, परसों मैं अपना खुद का बिल्ड आउट कर लूँगा. बट वी वांट टू हेल्प ऑल ऑफ दीज कंपनीज टू ओवरकम दिस चैलेंज. ओवरराइडिंग इकोसिस्टम गूगल, फेसबुक, यूट्यूब, ये जो भी इकोसिस्टम है इस पे डिपेंडेंसी बहुत हाई है. आप इंस्टाग्राम पे एड्स चला के यू माइट गेट 10,000 फॉलोअर्स, बट नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन यू पुट अ कंटेंट यू डू नॉट नो कि कितनों को दिखेगा वो कंटेंट.
श्योर.
आपने 10,000 लाइक्स ले आए, 10,000 फॉलोअर्स ले आए, बट आपको ये नहीं पता कि नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन यू पुटिंग अ कंटेंट इंस्टाग्राम उन 10,000 को दिखा रहा है या नहीं दिखा रहा है.
करेक्ट. वो तो नहीं दिखा रहा, वो तो सबको मालूम ही है.
हाँ, तो वो चैलेंजेस तो रहेंगे क्योंकि ओवरऑल ओनर ऑफ द इकोसिस्टम तो कोई और है. नोटिफिकेशंस डिलीवरी OEMs कंट्रोल कर रहे हैं, गूगल कंट्रोल कर रहा है, बट जस्ट द अवेयरनेस के कितना हो सकता है, दैट इट सेल्फ हेल्प्स, एंड एक्सपेक्टेशन उसी तरह से मैनेज कर सकते हैं पब्लिशर्स और ऐप ओनर्स एंड वेबसाइट ओनर्स की. So there are challenges in the industry and they will remain, but we want to help all of these guys to overcome those challenges in certain way. पूरा नहीं हो पाएगा, नहीं हो सकता, it's not possible, but email newsletters is a great way, notifications is a great way to get the user back. When the user comes in, engage them higher, show them content which is more relevant to them. All of those things help.
No, that's fantastic. I think that's a great solution that you're offering from a tool perspective. I'm sure the industry appreciates whatever you're doing. Before we move on to the last section of our conversation, one question that I feel as a participant to this conversation, I think you should share also, is that what is that one, maybe two learnings that you've seen in the last, you said you are a bootstrapped organization,
Yeah.
you've always remained bootstrapped. What is that one or two learnings that you've got as a bootstrapped ecosystem that you think audiences should know about if they are starting something on their own or if they are trying to solve a problem? So anecdotally,
मुझे नहीं पता bootstrapped की ही challenge है या it's a, I think entrepreneurship is a long journey. आप जितना भी टाइम सोच रहे हो कि मुझे, आपको लगता है कि 2 साल में प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाएगी, 3 साल में होंगी, इट ऑलवेज टेक्स लॉन्गर देन दैट.
okay.
So do not sign up for short periods, right? If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to build out a good large business, it is going to take time. It might take lifetime as well.
Okay.
Right? These are journeys which need commitment and patience. As I always tell the people I work with, all urgency with action, but a lot of patience with results. So, and I think it is true for funded businesses as well. 1 साल में टर्न अराउंड करना, 2 साल में टर्न अराउंड करना, वी सी ऑल ऑफ दो स्टोरीज, बट 1-2 साल तो प्रोडक्ट और सेगमेंट चूज करने में ही लग जाता है. कि प्रॉब्लम क्या सॉल्व कर रहे हो उसको फिगर आउट करने में 1-2 साल लग जाता है. तो so that is one advice, always sign up for long term. Second, I think in the entire journey, people are going to become extremely important, right? And what is bound to happen is that people are going to leave midway through the journey. But if you can have just 2 or 3 extremely important key people that you have to choose very wisely. But once you've made a choice, then your commitment towards their welfare, their individual goals, and their commitment towards company's welfare, company's goals, and your own goals should be very, very high. Very, very high. Because long journey mein you need those people to be with you. They may not be the most skillful people, but having those people by your side makes a huge difference to the journey. Right?
That's a good one.
So choose wisely. Choose wisely. Don't just choose the most talented or the most skillful people. People who can last longer is
the key.
Is the most important thing.
So I think perseverance is...
Yeah. It is very easy to find very skillful and talented people when you throw money. But they will also then, somebody else will throw more money as well.
Okay. I think that's a great insight. Thanks a lot, Neel. Moving to our last round and last set of questions. I wanted to do a rapid round of questions and I want instant response. And if you think somewhere you don't, you can.
I did not sign up for this.
This is the key. This is the key to our interesting interview that we do. Talk to people. I'll just quickly kind of open up your sheet, your rap sheet, and let's see if where you stand.
Okay.
So
let's do it.
I'll quickly ask these questions. Old school TV or OTT?
OTT. Though I miss the channel flipping.
Discovery. You missed Discovery.
Yeah, I love the. I used to love the hand.
Suryavansham बार-बार देखने का मौका.
Remote हाथ में पकड़ के just keep on changing channels. After a while you don't know what we were
watching.
देखना क्या है.
Interesting. RCB or Mumbai Indians or Chennai Super Kings?
Chennai Super Kings.
Fantastic. Long form content or video?
Long form content always.
Better?
Yes. Short content does not have depth.
Oh, interesting. ये तो मतलब industry को पलट दोगे तुम.
नहीं ये मेरा choice है. Obviously the world is moving in a very different direction.
This is a 3-part question, so you can beach or desert safari or mountain trips. Beach. You've worked across India, right, in various cities, and you've traveled the world. One city that you believe is where you connect?
In India it's Mumbai.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Mumbai. And otherwise, in all my travels, I've enjoyed the most in Lisbon.
Lisbon.
Yeah.
Interesting. Last question. पाव भाजी और दाल कचौड़ी?
दाल कचौड़ी.
मुंबई में तो मिलेगी नहीं.
ये
तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगी.
That's a Rajasthani दिल. Fate Rajasthani.
No, thanks a lot. I think that's my wrap for the day, and thanks Neel for doing this, and really happy to have you here with us. Most of the times when I talk to people, especially the ones who've always been working in the background, right, it's very interesting to get their insights.
Yeah.
So the idea of hosting this as Extra Talk is to figure out what's happening, the man behind the tool or the man behind the ecosystem that they've built, because most of the times we see people from an outside in perspective, right? I want to get the inside story of businesses, and that's what we are doing. So thanks a lot for coming over. And
absolutely my pleasure. Best of luck for this. I think it's बहुत सही initiative है. Stories are a lot more important.
Yes.
Typically industry को बहुत ही numbers और ऊपर की नज़र से देखा जाता है. But I think especially with professionals who've been there doing it for years, सबकी एक story है, सबके कुछ experiences हैं, सबके challenges, whether entrepreneurial challenges or otherwise even in a job. the challenges are very different for each one, and this is great. If we can, a platform to share some of those stories. And
thank you so much, Neel. Thanks.
All right.
And catch you up soon.
Yes.